I'm Andrea Giles, and you're listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, episode number 179, Stop Reacting and Start Leading. Hello, and welcome to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, where courageous women learn not only to heal from their spouse's betrayal, but to become the boldest, truest, most decisive, and confident versions of themselves ever. If you know there's more for you than the life you're currently living, but don't quite know how to get there, you are in the right place. Stick around to learn how to create a life that will knock your own socks off. Is it possible? It is, and I'm here to show you how. I'm your host, Andrea Giles. Are you ready? Let's dive in. All right, guys. So, hi. Welcome back to another episode. Oh, man. I am going to cut to the chase and be real with you. It's been a little bit of a week. I just recorded this whole episode. It was really good, too. It was really good. And realized I forgot to press record. I forgot to record. So I am now take 2, doing it again. And I didn't include any of this in the first episode that I recorded, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm just going to level with you, okay? You know, this is going to show a side of me that hopefully makes you chuckle a little bit. I can be very smart in certain areas, and sometimes I have to roll my own eyes at myself. Earlier this week, I had to drive 3 hours away to a specialist in a different town with 2 of my kids. It has been a frozen, freezing tundra here. Just to give you an example, when I left my home that morning, it was negative 27 degrees, like freaking cold, so cold, negative 27. It was wild. Driving along a river and seeing like steam coming off the river, it was just so cold, so cold. Anyway, frozen tundra, so much snow. We've gotten more snow than usual this year. And we went and, you know, I'm just going to level with all of you here. In that appointment, I, at 47 years old, got diagnosed with ADHD by a psychiatrist, okay? Leveling with you. So that has been something to wrap my head around a little bit. And I left that appointment, was heading home, drove an entire hour in the wrong direction. An entire hour in the wrong direction. If any of you have been to Montana, there's a lot of open space. They call it the Big Sky Country. There's just a lot of open space, and everything is just covered in snow. It's like white as far as you can see. Not a lot of landmarks. They're covered. Everything's just covered in a blanket of white forever and ever. And I also started getting a migraine on my way home. Like, I just got to get home. I just got to go home. And then realized I turned the wrong way, didn't even realize it. So I had to go back and head home, got home much later. I share all of this with you to say, when I do things like forgetting to press record, now I have a little bit more understanding of why. And these are some of the struggles that I have in business, in life, and I'm just leveling with you. So there you go. There you go. Now you know a little bit more about me, okay? I try to bring you my best professional self here, but on the other side of this is a very, down-to-earth, real human who does stupid human things like silly human error, right? And it happens more than I'd care to admit, honestly. Silly things that I just forget. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's episode because it's a really good one, okay? Please stick around to the end. I'm going to be giving you an actual assignment that I want you to do as if I am your coach and that you're taking seriously and doing your homework, okay? I'm going to give you some homework. All right, so basically, if you're constantly reacting to your spouse's choices, whether it's their apologies, their lack of apologies, their excuses, their silence, even their love and affection, you are handing them all the power. And today we're going to change that, okay? Why does this matter? It matters because reacting is keeping you stuck in their drama. It's keeping you stuck in what's going on with them. And it's not fair to you. Responding from a place of strength gives you clarity and control and confidence, okay? Taking it back. You are reacting to their drama when you are in a place of reaction. It's keeping you stuck in their drama, creating a whole lot of drama for you based on what they're doing. All right? And I want you to learn to take it back. Sometimes something that I see in my clients is they're really wanting to know if there's room for them in this relationship. And when we are in a constant state of reaction, there is no way to know. There's no way to know. We're not pushing on the things that need to be pushed on to see if there's room for us. When we learn how to slow this down, how to pause, this is when things open up and we learn if there's room for us here. And most of all, and most importantly, you are making room for you. You're making room for yourself, where you can tell the truth, where you're not hiding parts of yourself, where you're not shrinking parts of yourself. Okay? First of all, let's talk about the cost of reacting. This is what reacting looks like. And as I'm talking, I want you to think about for yourself where you react. What's your go-to? Okay? Jumping to conclusions. Where do you jump to conclusions? Where do you hear something that somebody's doing? And for the purposes of this particular podcast, I'm going to talk about your partner, significant other, whether you're staying in or not, okay? And you hear something and you instantly jump to some kind of conclusion that surely they must be thinking this. If they said this, so they must mean this. They didn't do this, so they must think this. How often do we do that? It's very, very dangerous to make assumptions. It's very dangerous and costs so much. We're spending so much time spinning out and something that we don't even have all the facts to. Now, I hear what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Andrea, but I already have evidence because of things that my partner has already said or done that this is probably what they're thinking. I hear you on that, okay? I hear you on that. And still, I will say, I want you to still learn how to stop jumping to conclusions anyway, because if your brain's always jumping to conclusions, there's no room for the other person to change either. There's no room for you to really get the data that you need to make the decisions that you need to make, okay? Another thing that reacting looks like is emotional outbursts, just losing your shiz, okay? It looks like they say something, you feel yourself get hot, and boom, there she blows. Or pleading or withdrawing and shut down. Pleading. How many of you have found yourself pleading and how terrible does that feel? I have. I know what that feels like. Like I feel so crappy right now. And if you could just tell me that you like me, if you could just tell me that you value me at all, that you care about me at all, please just let me know, right? This feels so terrible and it's not going to get you what you want because they are probably likely going to just react to you and it's not going to come from a grounded place from them. It's going to be coming from a, oh my gosh, I need to do what I need to do to put this fire out because this is so uncomfortable. And then you won't even be able to accept it or believe it because you'll recognize that it came from a reaction in both of you. Okay. You want it to be organic. Now, this doesn't mean that when you're feeling triggered that you can't say, hey, can you just give me a hug? Hey, can you sit by me and just give me some reassurance? Okay. But that is different than pleading. Pleading is coming from a place of desperation. It does not feel good. Okay. Withdrawing and shut down. How many of you withdraw? Close it down, put the wall up. Many of you probably lived in this place before the infidelity even happened. You recognize that there are areas where you guys were not on the same page, where maybe you were missing each other, where maybe you didn't have the intimacy that you wanted. And you maybe tried to have that intimacy. And when it wasn't received the way that you wanted, you might have shut down parts of your heart and vault closed. And that might be the place that you go to feel safe. But it's costing you your own peace. It's costing you your own joy. And it's a bummer, right? Next, making decisions based on their mood rather than your values. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick example of this. Let's say that you are talking about boundaries around phone use with your partner, and you find out that they've been chatting it up in the private chats in Instagram and Facebook, and it's nothing sexual. It's just talking, right? It looks innocent enough. But part of your values, part of something that you recognize is that there were not strong boundaries in place before the infidelity of how you're going to protect your marriage. And you recognize that it's one of your values to highly, deeply protect your marriage, right? And so rather than going to your partner and going, hey, this really bothers me that you're doing this, and this is not protecting our marriage, like this is kind of leaving us in a vulnerable state, rather than doing that, you're just feeling really freaked out and scared and don't say anything because you're afraid of what they're going to do or say. Or you do go to them and they minimize it and say, it's no big deal. Like you're trying to control me and I need to have some freedom, right? And then you shut down rather than honoring the value that you have of protecting this thing that you care about so much. Okay. The reality check here is that reacting means they get to set the tone of your life. That is so much power to give to anybody. Oh, it's so much power to give to anybody. It means that they get to set the tone of what your day-to-day life is like. It means that their inconsistency or their consistency, whatever it may be, determines your peace. This is a very dangerous way to live. It's dangerous because where are you in this? Where's your decision making of what you want, of how you want to live? If they, by chance, some of you are living with a situation where they're still waffling, they're still lying, they're still justifying, they're still kind of keeping you out, not really coming fully clean, you are going to be staying on that reactivity roller coaster until you decide to get off. And for those of you where you actually are seeing a lot of consistency, where you are seeing that they really are digging deep and doing their own work, if you stay in this place of reactivity and fear, you're still on a roller coaster nonetheless. It might not be quite as intense of a ride, but it's a roller coaster nonetheless, because you're living in the space of whatever they put out today is how my mood is going to be. Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about what to do with this. The power of the pause. Okay, I'm going to teach you a simple little hack that is so profound and so powerful. Pause before you respond. And pausing before you respond equals taking back control. Now, what does a strong response look like? It looks grounded. It looks thoughtful. It looks intentional. It looks like, I'm going to give myself a minute and think this through, check in with myself. It looks like love. It looks like love for yourself. It looks like love for everyone involved, right? You're not spewing more doubt or meanness or accusations in. You are taking a minute. You are not proving anything. You are not defending anything. You're not begging for validation, okay? Another thing that many of my clients that I talk to struggle with is this need to justify themselves, to explain themselves, to validate themselves, but in a way that is unhealthy, okay? It's not a way of truly validating. It's in a way of over-explaining to try to get the other person to agree with you or to validate you, okay? We do this in our workplaces. We do this with all kinds of relationships, but certainly in our most intimate ones. Why? Because many of us don't know how to have our own back. We haven't learned how to have our own back, how to really be with ourselves, explore what we think about things, and then stand up for those things in a way that it feels strong and powerful. And what we're doing is when we're over-explaining, we are casting doubt on what we are saying that we think, and making room for the other person to question us because we're questioning ourselves, okay? In this space of a strong response, we're not defending. We don't need to. Growing up, something that my dad used to say all the time that I agree with is truth needs no defense. If something is true, yeah, we defend truth by standing up for it, but we don't have to go on and on and on and on and on and defending it, right? Now, in this space, we're not begging for validation, but we might be saying, hey, can you sit with me in this? Okay, but we're not begging for it. We might ask for it. And I would say that in a healthy relationship, validation is really important. When we have the courage to share something intimate, something that feels scary and vulnerable to share, and our partner does not respond at all or gets defensive or walls up, it can feel very invalidating. And really, it is a break of intimacy, a breach of intimacy. Okay. Intimacy does not mean that we agree on everything. Intimacy does not mean that we're going, oh, yeah, I agree with you completely, and I'm wrong, you're right. That's not what validation is. It's just saying, I value you and I hear you. And I want to understand more. Tell me more. Oh, powerful, right? But we're not begging for it. We're not begging for it. This kind of response is communicating, I'm not here to manage your emotions. I'm not here to babysit your emotions. I am here to lead myself. I'm here to lead myself. Okay? Now, what does it mean to lead yourself? I'm going to give you a few hacks, okay? First of all, notice what the trigger is. What's the moment that is triggering you, and what do you instinctively want to do? Pay attention. When you feel triggered, going, I know that I'm feeling triggered right now. I know that I am. And what do you want to do when you're feeling triggered, okay? You might want to run away. You may want to cry. You may want to yell and scream. Slowing it down, slow it down. You might go straight into blame. You piece of, you know what? Like, it's your fault that I have this trigger, okay? Pause, 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 pause. Take a breath. Pause. Take a breath. Even 5 seconds of breathing can change everything, just slowing it all down. Asking, what would my strongest, wisest self say or do right now? What would my highest self do right now? My highest self would probably pull up a chair for that trigger and go, hey, I see you. You're really scared right now. This is so scary. And I'm going to sit with you while you feel the fear. Sometimes our highest self says, give it a minute, sleep on it, take a pause, say, I need to go for a walk for 30 minutes and circle back. Sometimes that's what it is, okay? Pause. Now, self-leadership is so powerful because what it does is it shifts the power dynamic. When you're in a reactive mode, neither of you are real powerful. It's our really reactive, childish parts that are reacting often to theirs. And what we want is power meets power. That's the goal. We're going for the power in me sees the power in you. Even though you made choices from a very young part of yourself, the power in me sees you as a human worthy of respect, even if your actions were not respectful. But I want to treat you this way because it's who I want to be, even if I don't respect your choices, okay? We get our own power back. We shift the power dynamic when we decide to take it back. The kicker here, the thing that's so cool, is they feel your energy change. You're no longer playing their game. You're no longer jumping when they say jump, and they know it. And they might push back at first. They might push harder at first and know that there's a new sheriff in town. There's something different happening here. But that is a sign that it's working. That's a sign that keep going. Like there's something bigger here at play. And I don't really know how this is going to end. I don't know ultimately if they're going to keep resisting or if they're going to come around. But I do know that I'm leading myself somewhere that I'm so proud of. Over time, what happens is your intention and your growing your skill of leading yourself forward forces clarity. Either they step up or they reveal who they really are and who they're going to stay. And you get to make a choice from a place of peace because you know that you did your own work to show up as your best self to this party, okay? How to start today? You start today by making a commitment. I will not react impulsively. I will pause and lead myself first, okay? So your challenge for this week, I want you to do this. I want you to pull out a journal. I want you to look at a situation, something that you feel afraid of that you know can be very, very triggering to you, where you know that you usually react. And I want you to commit to pausing instead. I want you to commit to pausing and to just giving yourself a minute to breathe and decide that your usual impulsive response, you can do that, but today you're going to practice something different and try it out. You're going to test it. You're going to see what happens when you do something else, okay? I want you to watch how the energy in you shifts. I want you to watch how your respect for yourself grows when you do this. Okay? All right. Before we wrap it up, I will boldly say that the work that we do inside my Get Your Life Back After Infidelity program is this on steroids. Okay? It is so immersive. I know many of you are faithful podcast listeners, and I really love that and appreciate it. And I appreciate your loyalty. What I will say is that inside my program, for people who are serious about not just having your fix and then forgetting about it, this is for people who are serious about changing their life by committing, going all in to doing the work day to day to change their own life, to where this becomes your new reality, to where you look back and go, wow, I lived so reactively to everything. I was in my own prison cell of putting out fires reactively all the time. And what a prison I was in, and I didn't even know. And I'm out. I busted out, and I'm the only one that could do it. I'm the only one that could bust myself out, okay? My program just gets better and better. It truly is life-changing. There's nothing like it out there. So much care, so much attention, so much thought, so much has gone into making this a place that is so powerful. You get 3 coaching calls a week with me and Beth, who is my assistant coach, and fantastic. Live coaching where I get through everyone who wants coaching, okay? All day trainings 3 times a year where you just get that, and gifts in the mail that come. They are deep dives. We just had ours recently. It was so powerful. People are talking about it every day. A client mentioned it to me today, how transformative. I can't tell you how powerful, because it's immersive and we're going deep on the things that need to be looked at. We're not skimming the surface. If you're somebody who recognizes that you're a deep thinker, you want to get beyond the reactivity and go deeper and take full responsibility for your own healing rather than waiting for something to happen, please get your application in. You apply, we accept you if you're a good fit. You get in, you get your money in. There are different payment plans available. You get your money in, you get access immediately. You get call replays that go back over a year. You get access to every workshop I've done. You get the guest people that I've had come in and do breath work and do classes on people pleasing and all kinds of amazing things. It's all there. All of my own trainings that are deep and profound and life-changing, and all the worksheets and everything. There's so much support, not to mention the group. I can't tell you without you being in there what kind of women are in this space. They are high caliber, smart, go-getter women. You won't find a more supportive group anywhere. You just won't. Just this week, a couple days ago, somebody in the group posted and got so much support, coaching from me, and so much support from so many women in the group. She said, "Thank you everyone for the love and support. I never thought I would find such an amazing group of women to lean on. Thanks, Andrea, for the coaching. I think a part of me knows that this doesn't have anything to do with me, but sometimes I struggle to remember that. Thank you for reminding me. This is every day for an entire year. You will leave a different person. You will leave a different person. If this speaks to you, if you want more than these short snippets, which I know are powerful and I know are really helping many of you, but if you know that you need to go all in on you, I invite you to come. We are ready for you. We have so much support for you between one-on-one coaching and group coaching. It's all included now. You get 2 calls a month with Beth. You get live coaching with me every week, except the 4th week of the month, which we have as a quiet week with no calls. There's so much here for you. Come join us. Come join us. All right. Thank you for being here. As always, it's a pleasure, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast. If you would like to be kept in the know about upcoming free classes, new podcast episodes, and other ways of working with me, go subscribe to my weekly email. You can subscribe at andreagiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. Again, it's andreagiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. I will see you next time.